Hello everyone! The way Final Fantasy moves a player from a starting class to a job can sometimes make sense and sometimes seem a little bit confusing. I for one was not sure how one could go from being a gladiator to becoming a paladin, but in this video we will explore just that journey. I've already made a video on the gladiator, so if you want to watch it you can find it in the description or up in the iCards. Also, if you do like Final Fantasy XIV lore guides and news, remember to subscribe. But for now, let's just jump into it. Having just finished the Gladiator questline, a story with no gladiatorial fights at all, oddly enough, and still, with our sword and shield, we have become a force to be reckoned with. But one day a new rumor is spreading around the Colosseum. We hear it originally from the receptionist, a fellow Lalafell that we like to share some gossip with from time to time. And today's gossip is very interesting. Lulutsu tells us that Sultan Sworn are taking in new trainees to become paladins, and this one doesn't have to swear an oath, making them a free paladin. So for the first time, an adventurer can become a paladin and still remain an adventurer. After having spent some time in Ul'dah by now, we've gotten to know the Sultan Sworn a bit, so let's have a bit of an overview. The Sultan Sworn are the personal guards of the Sultana. Their order was originally founded in 969 by Sasagan ul Sisigan after founding the city-state of Ul'dah. 3 knights helped him found the nation, being a Hayur, a Lalafell, and a Rogidin. The Hayur was named the first captain and given a sacred blade known as Oathkeeper. Over time, the Sultan Sworn have watched over each ruling member of the Sultanate, swearing an oath of service, and the blade passing from captain to captain over generations. But since the founding of the city, the political landscape has changed quite dramatically. With the culture and politics dominated by trade and profiteering, the Syndicate was born. A group only the most important and wealthy can buy their seat in. And in A Realm Reborn, there are in total 6 members in it. The Syndicate along with the Sultana rule the city, but the relationship is not exactly amicable. The Syndicate itself is split into 2 factions, the Royalists who support the royal crown, and the monetarists who would prefer to displace the monarchy and exert more control over the city-state. At the moment, of the 6 members, there is only 1 royalist within the syndicate, being Rauban, the Immortal Flames general and close confidant of the Sultana. Over the years, the monetarists have turned their sight on weakening the Sultan Sworn and have managed to do so quite successfully. They have brought their own protective faction known as the Brass Blades, which hold the task of protecting the Sultanate and the surrounding area. But being formed out of sellsword, there is ripe corruption within the ranks. And still, the Sultan Sworn, with their reduced number, have been forced to seek the Brass Blades' assistance to watch over more and more territory, even within the city itself. Today, the only place you can find exclusively Sultan Sworn guards is in the inner areas of the city, near the Chamber of Rule. That is where the government resides, and so does the Sultana. As we head up to find the captain of the Sultan Sworn, we wonder why he would open the ranks. After all, if they need more people to guard the city, isn't this kind of an odd way to do it? As an adventurer, I'm not going to be sitting around on guard duty. The current captain of the Sultan Sworn is Genlins. He's only 29, not the youngest in history, but still quite young. Ever since his childhood, Genlins had admired the Paladin, and especially the previous captain. He believes wholeheartedly in the code of the Paladins, and reminds us that a Paladin defends the people of the realm, and they are elite of the elite when it comes to fighting and service. Their fighting style and lessons kept safe and honed over the past 600 years, and now he will share it with us. But if he is to do so, we must prove ourselves worthy. We must head to Little Alamico, just south of the settlement, where to find these little ruins, which have an iron brazier inside. When we light it, the undead in the area will be drawn to it, the flame, and we must slay them. Then we burn their hearts and bring the ashes back to Genlins as proof of our successful task. We do as instructed, light the flame, kill the undead, but as we are burning their hearts, we realize we're not alone. Rogidin stands nearby, wearing impressive paladin gear. He greets us, claiming to know why we're here. He gives us no name, but tells us he is simply an aging free paladin, and he has an important word of wisdom for us. Don't confuse being a paladin with specific swordplay. We must find the true path of the Paladin. But how? And what is it? He doesn't really mention it. Then he hands us a crystal, which he asks us to take back to Genlin's. And with the request we focus on our training and becoming strong and true beacon of light for all. He walks off, leaving us quite confused. Returning to Genlin's, he is pleased with our progress and tells us to swear the oath to ourselves, to uphold what is good and right, to help the people of the realm. Then, as he is about to hand us our soul crystal, we show him the one we got from the mysterious Rogadin, and Genlin is outraged. The crystal is indeed the soul of a paladin, but it's a sullied one. It belongs to the Oathbreaker, the former captain who betrayed the Sultansworn. Genlin's once revered the man, but now wants nothing more than to apprehend him and bring him to justice for what he has done to the Order. Our greatest task as a free paladin will be helping Genlin's do just that. Some more training is of course needed. Over some time, we take part in several training exercises organized by Genlin's. They all hold a similar theme. Go to a place, light a brazier, and fight whatever bad thing shows up to discuss fire safety with you. And as we go back and forth, we learn a bit more about Genlin's and the former captain named Solskasil Enaglsin. His name translates to Blessed Tail, Son of Cold Nail, and at this time he is approximately 54 years old. He served as the captain of the Sultansworn for around 30 years, and at the time was the youngest captain the Order had seen for quite some while, if not ever. But one day, Solskjaer vanished. He left the Order never to be seen again, and with him vanished the Oathbreaker blade, which is traditionally worn by the captain. Now with time, we will learn this is not such a simple tale as a theft by Solskjaer, but at this time that is Genlin's understandable belief. With the former captain branded as a traitor, Genlin's took his position and since then has spent his time trying to find the former captain and bring him to justice, and with it regain the sword and start restoring the Order's honor. Genlin's has spent as much time as he can investigating the case and has come upon a disturbing discovery. He was going through some old records and he learned that around the time Solskjaer was named captain, several famed soldiers of the Sultansworn died suddenly, leaving the position open for him. So, begging a favor from an old friend, Genlin's managed to obtain the medical record to learn how the soldiers died. And while they did die in different ways, be it in combat or suddenly at night or even in the barracks, well, in nearly every case, there was sign of poison playing a role in their deaths. Genlin's believe this is the work of an organization known as the Death's Embrace, a group of assassins in the service of the monetarists. But Genlin's believes they would never have been able to kill so many without a man on the inside to help them. And he believes that man was Solskjaer. After all, he is the one who benefited the most from these deaths by becoming the captain. So he must serve the monetarists too. With Genlin's having reached a conclusion in his investigation, he feels even more determined to take down Solskjaer. But while he works on tracking him down, he gives us yet another trial. This time is not a brazier to light and some monsters to kill. This time we must seek out chests holding pieces of the gallant armor. This is the armor worn by generations of the finest soldiers of the Sultansworn. And if we wish to wear it, we must earn it. This is an old tradition, that when a Sultansworn in training is ready to receive the armor, pieces of it are taken to several places around southern Thanalan. There they are locked in a chest and each guarded by 2 Sultansworn. To get the armor, the recruit must best the 2 guards of each location for their armor pieces. The chests are not hard to find, but the fights can be quite tricky. After all, these are no regular bandits, these are Sultansworn themselves we must fight. Still, piece by piece, we retrieve the armor, in total ending up with 4 of them, the only thing missing being the headpiece. As we return, Genlin's tells us Solskjaer has been found. Right now, emissaries are in Sagoli Desert, where a parley is taking place. In the hope of reclaiming the Oathkeeper, Genlin's wants us to come too. We will travel separately there and meet up at the location Genlin's has marked on a map. Arriving there, we learn there is no parley to be had. No, in fact, Genlin's is waiting along with other Sultansworn for us. Ever since we brought Solskjaer's soul stone back from our first mission, he has suspected we might be a monetary spy. He offers us the chance to confess and give up the former captain's location, along with the sword, or die right here. We try our best to explain that we are not a monetary spy at all. We have never met this former captain, and we have no idea what the sword is. But Jenlins won't hear of it, as others within the Order have already confirmed our treachery. And who is he to believe? Us, the newcomer, or his brother in arms who took the oath together and have served the Sultanate for years as one? And it makes sense, of course. Why would he believe us over them? Doesn't mean he isn't wrong. And then he decides talking isn't going to work. As we were a paladin, even only briefly, he believes we have broken our oath and therefore we are sentenced to death, right here and right now. The fight is fierce, but we do come out on top, taking down the Sultan's sword and severely injuring Jenlins, who ends up kneeling in agony as we try once more to talk to him. Only for Solksagil to appear, jumping forward, deflecting an arrow, heading straight for Jenlins. An arrow is shot by one of the Sultan's sworn, who then runs away. Solksagil helps us and Jenlin get to safety, and then he helps Jenlin recover while explaining what has truly been going on. It is true that Solksagil left the Order, but he did not betray it. Over the course of his time as a captain, he did his best to defend the Order from the monetarists. But in the end they managed to steal the Oathkeeper, and that is why he left, to try to reclaim the stolen blade. After him leaving, the monetarists pushed Jenlin into a place as a captain, surrounding him with their own men within the Sultan's sworn, there to whisper to him half-truths and feed him information, until he was getting too close. Discovering a tad too much, having pinpointed the assassinations, it seemed Jenlin's usefulness was at an end. So they set up this whole thing to assassinate him. Unluckily for them, we and Solksagil were here to save him. Jenlin is mortified by the realization that he has been used, that the captain he admired so much was not a traitor he had believed him to be. He asked for some time to think, to research. He will restore the Sultan's honor and strength, but he needs time to figure out how. So we leave him to it. When we meet with Jenlin again, he seems to have come to a conclusion. He compliments us on our great progress as a paladin, but for his new task, he must work alone. It is time to stop putting us in danger. Instead, he will face the assassins himself, with a plan that should work. He has let it known to some of his comrades that might be monetary spies that he plans to try to run away to snowcloak up in Coerthas. He is positive the assassins will not miss the chance to come after him, which will allow him to confront them. We do ask to join, but he doesn't want our help. Instead tells us to meet Solksagil, who has asked to see us. Knowing Jenlin is not a man you can talk out of stupid ideas, we opt to go to talk to the former captain instead. As we rush to meet the Rogadin to tell him about Jenlin's stupid plan, we learn he is in fact here to tell us about Jenlin's stupid plan. So, with everyone being in agreement that the plan is stupid, we head up to Coerthas, meeting with Jenlin there, who seems frustrated by us showing up. But Solksagil reminds him that the paladins are always bound to the oath they swear to themselves, and that is the oath to follow their own sense of justice. That is the only way to embrace the Paladin creed. We come here of our own free will because we believe it is the right thing to do. Jenlin is surprised and a bit frustrated, but he does understand. And he is also lucky because the fight that follows when the Death Embrace assassin comes is a big one. It is clear they went all out in killing the young captain, using magic, summoning void sand, and various other tricks. The three of us barely make it out alive. After the fight, Jenlin asks Solksagil to return to Ul'dah with him and retake the post as captain. He believes himself unworthy of it. But the old captain does not agree. Both does he believe that once a man leaves the Sultan's sworn, they can never return. But also, and more importantly, he believes Jenlin is and will be an excellent captain, because he has the right heart for it. So instead we all agree to start heading down our own path. Solksagil plans to travel across Eorzea to bring help to those in need and seek out the stolen blade. So he bids his farewell to us in Coerthas, while we head back to Ul'dah with Jenlin. There we are gifted with the proper paladin armor. We have become a true paladin and earned the right to wear it. From now on, he will keep on rebuilding the Sultan's sworn from within. we will head back out on our adventure, helping those in need. And with a new armor, new friends, and a better understanding of the darker dealings happening within Ul'dah's Bright Street, we finished the tale of the Paladin in A Realm Reborn. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. I plan to continue doing these class and job stories onwards, so if you want to see them all, make sure to subscribe and press the notification bell so you will be notified when they come out. If you want something to watch now, I also got some lovely videos for you to enjoy on the screen you can pick from. Tell me in the comments if you play a Paladin, how you like the story, and maybe what your main class is today. But for now, I hope you have a lovely day.